Agnetha Fältskog, the golden voice of ABBA. To millions, she was the girl with the angelic smile. But behind the music, there was heartbreak, rivalry, and silent battles. While ABBA shined on stage, the truth was much darker off it. Agnetha, who gave her heart and soul to the group, often felt trapped and misunderstood. Some say she carried bitterness toward one person more than anyone else in the band. Who was it? And why did this pain linger for decades? Let's dive into the story of Agnetha's hidden struggles, broken bonds, and the truth ABBA never told the world. When ABBA rose to fame in the early 1970s, Agnetha was the star everyone adored. Blonde, beautiful, with a voice that could break your heart, she quickly became the face of the band. Fans loved her more than anyone else, but inside the group, she felt pressure. She wasn't just a singer. She was expected to be the perfect wife, mother, and performer all at once. While the spotlight made her famous, it also put her under a microscope. Behind closed doors, the glamour faded. Agnetha started to feel isolated, even within the band that made her a legend. Agnetha was married to Björn, ABBA's guitarist and songwriter. At first, their love story looked like a fairy tale. Two young stars in love, writing songs and building ABBA together. But as success grew, cracks appeared. The touring, the late nights, and the pressure of fame pulled them apart. Björn often seemed more focused on music than on family. Agnetha, who longed for stability, began to feel neglected. She adored her children but struggled with the band's schedule. The marriage turned cold, and soon she felt more like a business partner than a wife. In 1979, Agnetha and Björn's marriage officially ended, but unlike most couples, they couldn't walk away. They still had to sing together every night, pretending to be in harmony. Fans had no idea how much pain was hidden behind those smiles. Agnetha's heartbreak became the band's story. Songs like "The Winner Takes It All" weren't just music, they were real-life pain. Agnetha had to sing about losing love, while the man she divorced stood just a few feet away. The bitterness grew stronger. She began to hate not just the situation, but the people who forced her to relive it every night. Annie Frida, was the other female star of ABBA. On stage, they looked like sisters, but behind the scenes, things weren't so warm. Frida was fiery, bold, and confident, while Agnetha was shy and private. Fans and the media constantly compared them. Who was prettier? Who sang better? This silent rivalry became poison. Agnetha often felt overshadowed, believing the band favored Frida. Every photo shoot, every interview, every stage performance became a quiet competition. Agnetha hated the feeling of being second best, and resentment toward Frida only grew stronger. For Agnetha, fame wasn't a blessing, it was a cage. She hated flying, hated touring, and hated being far from her children. But ABBA was unstoppable, and she had no choice. Each time she stepped on stage, the crowd screamed for joy, but inside, she felt empty. The other members seemed to thrive in the spotlight, especially Björn and Frida. Agnetha, on the other hand, felt forced to smile, while her heart was breaking. The more she tried to endure, the more resentment she built toward those who pushed her into a life she never wanted. Even at the height of ABBA's fame, Agnetha often went back to her hotel room alone. She missed her children desperately. She hated airports, interviews, and cameras chasing her every move. But what hurt most was the lack of understanding from her bandmates. They saw her struggles as weakness. To them, ABBA came first. To Agnetha, her family came first. This difference created walls between her and the rest of the group. She began to see them not as friends, but as people who kept her away from the life she wanted. By the early 1980s, ABBA was falling apart. The music was still popular, but the band members were broken inside. For Agnetha, the breaking point came when Björn moved on and remarried quickly after their divorce. She felt humiliated, abandoned, and forced to face it all while the world watched. Worse, she had to sing songs written by Björn and Benny that mirrored her heartbreak. She couldn't escape. The pain turned into anger, and the anger turned into hate, especially toward Björn. To Agnetha, he wasn't just an ex-husband. He was the man who broke her heart and made her sing about it forever. When ABBA finally stopped recording in 1982, Agnetha disappeared from public life. She moved back to Sweden, away from the chaos. For years, she avoided interviews, cameras, and the world that once adored her. People called her a recluse, but in truth, she just wanted peace. Yet, even in silence, the bitterness remained. She felt betrayed by her bandmates, especially Björn, who seemed to move on effortlessly. Agnetha never truly forgave him, and in her eyes, he remained the person she hated most, the one who forced her to relive heartbreak night after night. When ABBA reunited decades later, fans were thrilled, but for Agnetha, the old wounds returned. Standing next to Björn and Frida again brought back memories she wanted to forget. While she smiled for the cameras, inside, she still carried resentment. The world saw unity, but behind the stage, it wasn't that simple. She kept her distance, careful not to let the old pain show. Even after all those years, Agnetha couldn't shake the feeling that ABBA was both her biggest blessing and her biggest curse. Today, Agnetha rarely speaks about her pain. She chooses silence, letting the music speak instead. But those close to her know the truth. Of all the people in her life, Björn hurt her the most. He was the man she loved, the man she divorced, and the man who made her sing her heartbreak to millions. More than rivalry with Frida, more than tension with Benny, it was Björn she hated most. Yet, without him, there would be no ABBA, no legacy, no songs that touched the world. Love and hate, forever trapped in music. Even after ABBA's split, Agnetha's solo career showed the world how much emotion she still carried. Her songs were filled with loneliness, longing, and heartbreak. Fans could feel the sadness in her voice, almost like every note was a reminder of the pain she lived through with ABBA. While other members pushed forward with new projects, Agnetha struggled to let go of the past. The shadow of Björn was always there. Every time she sang The Winner Takes It All, people saw it as their story. To Agnetha, it wasn't just a performance. It was her life, frozen in a song she never asked to live. As the years passed, Agnetha admitted that she often wondered what her life might have been without ABBA. Yes, the fame gave her wealth and recognition, but it also stole her peace. The band took her marriage, her privacy, and even her chance at a normal family life. She regretted how little time she had with her children during those crucial years. She regretted smiling on stage while her heart was breaking inside. And deep down, she regretted trusting Björn with both her love and her career. To her, ABBA was a success story, but also a reminder of betrayal she could never erase. Today, ABBA's music is celebrated everywhere. Musicals, films, and tribute shows keep their legacy alive. But for Agnetha, that legacy is complicated. While the world dances to Dancing Queen, she remembers the tears behind the glitter. While fans celebrate ABBA's reunion, she remembers the silence that tore them apart. And though she sometimes smiles when looking back, the truth is, Agnetha never fully escaped the pain. To her, ABBA will always mean both love and hate. And the man she hated more than anyone, he will always be tied to her name, her songs, and her story forever.